Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful and the specially merciful. Dear viewers across the globe, I greet you with the greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear audience and dear viewers, welcome to this program. Welcome to Take Treasures from the Holy Quran, as the name of the program implies. Yes, we are here to share the treasures. Try to imagine if you know somebody in the world who is ready to share his treasures, show me. I'll be the first one to go to him. But I will not find even the same quality of treasures that we are presenting in this program and other programs as well. The quality of the treasures that we are offering here are the words of Almighty Allah. And I'm reminding you, Almighty Allah is the creator of everything in this universe. These are His words. These are the verbatim of Almighty Allah. And I would love to share them with you as much as I can. If possible, I would share it with the entire community of humans. If I have the ability, this would be the first thing that I would begin with, because people are in need of that. They can live without many other things, but they need that. They cannot live and they cannot function correctly on this planet if they don't have this kind of knowledge. Wow. Is this the quality of knowledge that you're offering? Yes, it is. I am just a conveyor, a transmitter. I transmit this kind of knowledge that I learned from the Book of Allah and from the traditions and the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are all in need of that. And one of the tips that we learned today, even before I start talking about any ayah, is that all the time, whenever you have a chance, don't miss the opportunity to open the Book of Allah and to learn something from it. Even one word, even two words, even learning the language of the book so that you would understand it in a better way. You may be reading it in French or in English or in Chinese, but as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, that you would not get the same benefits as you get it when. This is the wisdom why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it in Arabic. So the only way to get more understanding than others, if you master the language itself. And you will see the difference. Every time you learn something about Arabic, you will find yourself, your understanding of this is getting more and more. You will even be able to distinguish the faults and the mistakes of the translators that they have done. Because you want to guarantee that every minor thing that goes into your mind is 100% pure and correct. So it's a good way to invest your time is by studying the Quran. You would find that people are carrying the Quran with them everywhere, in their cars, in their bedrooms, in their offices, carrying it with them, putting it in their pockets so that they can resort to it. And if they have some free time, they can read 1 or 2 pages or even 1 or 2 lines. They are so eager to know more and more and more. So we want to acquire this skill or this habit of reading. I mean, not the quick reading that they are referring to. No. Not at all. When we deal with the Book of Allah, we have to deal with it differently. It's not a book of humans, so we have to deal with it differently. Look at this. First of all, I will teach you something that's globally known among all the languages in the world. One way of emphasizing the meaning and keeping it fresh in your mind is repetition. You repeat. That's why you find, for example, the beginning of every chapter in the Quran, which is amazing. I would say all chapters except one. Yes. In all 113 chapters, they begin with this. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. What would you learn? You read the entire verse and you will find yourself unable to remember, of course. We are humans. It's not within our capacity. But when you read the beginning, the starting verse of every chapter, which is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of Allah, the most merciful, or the entirely merciful and especially merciful. And you read it page after page, chapter after chapter. When you read the entire Quran, you will find that you have read it 113 times. Is there a way that you forget it? I think it's almost impossible that you may forget it. Everybody knows it. And what is the significance of this? The significance, it all the time tries to, you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has more than 99 names. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves to be known as Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, the one who is merciful. Do you know anyone in the world who does not like these names or these qualities? Do you want your Lord to be merciful? Do you want your neighbor to be merciful? You want your parents to be merciful? You want your examiners to be merciful? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is how He introduces Himself, just to remember. What would you remember when you finish the entire Quran and you finish all the texts? You will forget all of them, yet you will remember this beginning. In the name of Allah, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allah loves these beautiful names because everybody is in need of them. Do you know why? This Quran is universal because everybody needs that. And everybody, when he knows that, this is the Lord who loves to introduce Himself as Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. He has all other names, yet He does not want to select them and to put them in the beginning of every verse. He's telling them, I am Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. I am Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. I am Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. What else do you need? Have you ever heard about any of the so-called gods, false gods, introducing Himself as such? No. That's why you would definitely and automatically and naturally understand that you come to this conclusion that He's the only true Lord. He's the only true creator of this universe. He is the one who deserves to be worshipped, not any other one. You will immediately reach this kind of conclusion when you reflect just about the name, just about the first line, let alone the other knowledge that is mentioned in this. That's why I love to call it treasures from the Holy Quran, because you learn a lot. If you finish the entire Quran and you are left only with the beginning verse, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This may be enough for you to live with that. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you to read more and more. But this is an example of the quality of the knowledge and the quality of the treasures that you are going to get from the Holy Quran. Just open the Quran when you go to today and just read the beginning verse, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the first chapter, then the second chapter, then the third chapter. It will easily come to your mind, and it becomes so easily to recall it and to remember it. These are some of the benefits that. So we go back to the main point that repetition is a way of emphasizing this meaning. So here you find this meaning had been repeated in the entire Quran more than 114 times. And I mean it, I mean the number. Because even in the chapter that does not begin with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, you find it in the middle of the chapter for a reason, of course, for a wisdom that Allah. But anyway, so we agree that emphasis can be attained by repetition. Going back to Surah Ar-Rahman, chapter number 55. This chapter talks about the Allah as this name of Allah, Ar-Rahman, the entirely merciful, who is merciful to everyone. This is the title of this chapter. And believe me, even the non-believers, when this verse is recited to them, they are emotionally affected. They cannot stop resisting that. They see it, the impact of it in their hearts. They even cannot control themselves. They cry, even if they don't understand the language. And you can find an example of this on the internet. You find some people who made this experiment and asked people to listen to this chapter or parts of it. You can see the impact on them because it carries the beautiful names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let me go back to the topic. In this verse, chapter 55, you see there's a verse in it that had been repeated in this chapter only. It had been repeated 32 times. 32 times in one chapter. You can see how important, how significant is this. You love to hear it. I'm quite sure that you will feel bored whenever this happens in any other book. But because this book carries the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so it works differently. Its impact is different. What is this verse? This verse has been repeated starting from ayah number 13, and it goes on and on and on and on until the verse ends. The whole chapter ends. Had been repeated 32 times. What it says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. 4 words. فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. Meaning, which of the favors, which of the blessings of Allah can you deny? This is the simple translation of it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every 1 or 2 verses, He reminds humans who are willing to receive this verse, He reminds them of the favors and the blessings and the ayat that He does for them. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Can you reject that this is from Almighty Allah? Can you deny that? After every one verse, perhaps in some cases, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching people, can you deny that? Can you deny that? You feel that Allah is talking to you. There is no way to run away from that. Can you deny all these blessings that you have? Can you deny that? He is the one who grants you this, who provides you this. It is His name is Ar-Rahman. Can you deny that? I'm sure you cannot. Nobody can. And the answer is expected from each one of us to say, no, I cannot deny. Even if you do not dare to spell it out, at least say it in your heart. Oh Allah, we cannot deny that. We cannot deny all these blessings. We confess that you are the one who provided us with. And the question that comes to you after that, after appreciating and understanding all these blessings that you have never thought of, after getting your attention, after becoming more focused on the words of Allah and more on the ayat of Allah, the signs of Allah, after this you ask yourself, is there anyone else who deserves to be worshipped other than Allah? This is the question that should be raised in our minds. And this makes it very significant to say, of course, there is no one who deserves to be worshipped except Almighty Allah. And that's exactly what we have in understanding the verse, La ilaha illallah. There is none who is worthy of being worshipped and being followed and being obeyed except Almighty Allah. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.